I must work both day and night, if I must supply every need, if I must work both day and night, if I must supply if I must supply every need, if I must work both day and night, if I must supply every need. If I must supply every need, if I must work both day and night, if I must supply every need.
Welcome to the channel, infamous and proud. I'm bringing all the truth, gotta shout it loud. In a world full of shadows, we shine bright. Created in a space where we unite and ignite. Designed to be different, that's our aim. No judgment here, we're all the same. Infamous truth teller, we keep it real. A safe place to land, that's the deal. Join together, we've only begun. Bad actors take a seat, we call out the lies. Productive vibes only watch us rise. Awareness we raise, got our eyes on the prize. Respectful opinions, let's be wise. In this digital jungle, we stand tall. Mindful of each other, respect is our call. Infamous truth teller, we keep it real. A safe place to land us the deal. Join the movement, let's rise as one. In this journey together, we've only begun. So come along and share your truth. In this community, we'll find our youth.
Yo!
Infamous truth teller, we keep it real. A safe place to land, that's the deal. Join the movement, let's rise as one. In this journey together, we've only begun.
I'm just doing a test run. I just wanted to go over some stuff, and I'm just doing a test run on this live just to see how the computer works and see how everything works out. But I have some transcripts from Nik The Hat, and I also have some video stuff that about what YouTube is rolling out. They're rolling out all kinds of neat shit. So I'm just doing like a test run. I'm recording it as well. So if there's anybody that comes in, they come in. They don't, they don't. Like I said, I'm just doing a test run. So I'm gonna play one more little thing here, and then I'm gonna get to the transcripts. I'm just gonna start reading them, so they're just recorded. So take care. I'll be back.
Hey, what's up, rehabbers across the world? Trent Shelton here, another week, another video. You connect me at TrentShelton.com. Thank you to everybody who shares my messages, shares the videos. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the support. Today, we're going to talk about circumstantial friends. Look, stop letting people celebrate your victories in life when they wasn't present for your losses. Who was with you at rock bottom? Who was around you when you had nothing going for your life? Who believed in you even when you didn't believe in yourself? Anybody can stand next to you during your success, but true loyalty holds you up during your failure. It's easy for somebody to believe in you once you show them that it's possible, but true support believed in you even when you thought it was impossible. Real isn't the people that are praising you at your celebration. Real is the people that were praying for you to make it out your situation. So ignore the people that swear they know you when you're on top, because those are the same people who ignored you when you were at the bottom. Where were they at during your losing seasons in life? Where were they at when you were rebuilding your life? Look, everybody's a diehard friend once you make it, but who is rooting for you? Who is encouraging you? Who is digging in with you when you were backsliding to help you change that direction, to help you move forward? Those are the people that deserve to be in your life. Those are the people that need to be in your circle. The only people that deserve to ride with you when the wheels are moving are the people that will be next to you pushing the car if that car ran out of gas. Friendship isn't circumstantial. You shouldn't only hear from them when they need favors. They shouldn't only be around when the spotlight is on. Some people just want to benefit off your hard work that you put in. Some people just want VIP at your celebration that they didn't help make happen. So if they didn't help make it happen, or they didn't help believe it can happen, then they shouldn't be holding the glass at the champagne toast. Straight up. All right, but it all starts with you. Know your circle. It's rehab time. Let's get it.
Donald Trump just wrapped up a disastrous press conference. It may be the most bizarre and dangerous one I've seen yet, and that's saying something. The purported purpose of this
So now I'm just gonna go over these transcripts. I have Nik The Hat's transcripts over here. Let's see. Of when he went in, and Lesniak was his lawyer then too. I just think it's interesting. I've been sitting on these for a minute, so I just figured I'd go over them so we could kind of see kind of what really has transpired with Mr. Nik. Like, what his conviction was all about, what they said in the transcripts, what they said in the court hearing, the trial, right before he was convicted. So I just wanted to go over that, and that's about it. Just like I said, just doing a test run. Yeah. So this is Nik The Hat's transcripts. I thought it was pretty interesting. Let me see. Let me get rid of these real quick. Hold on. So I was just going to go over. There's a lot of pages, but I just thought it'd be interesting to go over. So that's just, I'm just, like I said, doing a test run because I don't go live often. So let's see. So this is Nik The Hat. Let's see if I need to make it bigger on this side. I don't know if you guys can see it, if anybody can see it. What's up? How are you? Dirty dude. I'm just going over somebody's transcripts. I'm in a whole different sector than everyone else on this thing, so I'm just going to go over this person's transcript because he's a phony and he's a fake. So let's see. Let me see. I'm going to go over here. So it says the Court of Common Pleas of Delaware County, Pennsylvania, Criminal Court. So it's Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus Nicholas Hatstafield. Let's see. So this is October. Where's it? October 19th, 2021, 8:27 a.m. This is the index, all the stuff. So on behalf of the Commonwealth, um, so it's got the detective, it's got, everybody, and it's the whole transcript. I'm sure you guys know what that is. So this is all the evidence that they submitted. Oh, snap. Let's see. So they got, let's see, emails, forensic report, let's see, New York Times logo, contents of the note. So this is all the stuff that they have for evidence against Mr. Nik. So I just figured we'll go over this because I thought it was pretty interesting to see what they would. So I'm just going to read it. I don't know if I'm going to get through the whole thing tonight, but so it's the court. So the court's transcript 5279-2019 for the Commonwealth. Miss Sakula, good morning, Your Honor. Kelly Sakula from the Office of Attorney General on behalf of the Commonwealth, 84899. The court, and on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Pattis, Norm Pattis, Pro Hack Vice, with your permission, sir. Mr. I don't know if it's Much or Mooch. Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court, Mark Much on behalf of the accused. The court, Miss Sakula, Sakula, I think is how you pronounce your name. Miss Sakula, she says, Your Honor, yesterday during the cross-examination of Chelsea Price, there were some questions asked regarding a video of Detective Barry Williams making the statements that are quoted in the mail. I submit to the court that the relevance of what's in the email, the substance of what's in the email is certainly relevant, but the charges related to those two emails, the stack and wash emails, are limited to the identity theft charge, any extraneous information or questions pertaining to a video that may or may not exist out there, or any of that sort of thing. I submit to the court is irrelevant, and the defense should be precluded from inquiring into those areas. The court says, and what's the relevance of the video? If there is a video? I don't know. Mr. Pattis, there is. It might not. It might not. Let's see. Who is this Mr. Pattis? Hold on. Let me see. I think it's up here. My bad. So we got, so she's the lawyer for the Commonwealth. So she's the one prosecuting. So Norm Pattis, I believe, is for the defendant. And then there's Joseph Lesniak, Mr. Lesniak. So Esquire is just, I guess, a fancy name. If they went to law school, graduated, and is a successful attorney, passed the bar, and I guess they get that Esquire name at the end of their name. They can choose, that's what they call them, I guess, after they finish, but they have to finish school. I looked it up. So let's see. So Mark, I don't know if it's Much or Mooch, Esquire for the defendant. So he has 3 lawyers. Wow. Let's see. Let's see. The statement of the email. And what's the relevance of the video? We already looked at that. Let's see. But the very first words out of the Commonwealth's mouth were to identify Mr. Hastafio with fake news, and our contention will be that the state opened the door to the inquiry because they should the exhibit. They showed or should. Maybe it's a misprint. It was a state's exhibit, and we want to corroborate the fact that much of what he did, if not all of what he did, was founded in fact. The court, Are you showing a video? Are you showing the Mr. Pattis? We may seek to offer it. It's going to be on. We added it to our our exhibit list after that exhibit was offered last night. I didn't know whether this the Commonwealth would redact that portion of the email as extraneous, but our view is having called into question Mr. Hastafio as a purveyor of fake news. Wow, fake news. We're entitled to corroborate anything that they portray of his in this trial as founded in fact, not fiction. Ms. Sakula. So she states, and Your Honor, the aspect of the fake news comes solely from the Roni fake racist email. Ooh, Mr. Pat. Well, first, that's the fake news. The other aspect of the case, so they're arguing about like what they want to show. So, if anybody wants these transcripts, I'll gladly share them. But this is like 399 pages. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to act upon your request at this point in time. If at the conclusion of the trial, I need to give an instruction to the jury, I will give an instruction to the jury based on what transpires during the course of the trial. Mr. Pattis says, yes, sir. Miss Sakula said, fair enough, Your Honor. Thank you. So let's see. Court recess. Okay, we're back on record. Mr. Pattis, Judge, I again raise the public trial concerns under the Sixth Amendment. I note that the yellow tape is up again. Oh, they're talking about some yellow tape out there. It's not stopping people from coming in, Mr. Pattis. Well, I see a marshal. I see a yellow tape across the hall. I'm mindful of Commonwealth versus Hayes at 489 Pennsylvania. The court, well, great. Mr. Pattis, 4/19/1980. The court, let me just stop you. All you have to do is ask me to have it removed. Hold on, I just dropped my mouth. Man, this would have been something to see. Let's see. Okay. I just want to make my record. I'm not saying you're doing anything. The public, my client has a fundamental right to a public trial, and we believe that it might be the court, Mr. Pattis, being obliged. Is that the name? I think that's what it is. Obliged. The court. You know what? I don't need a desertion, Mr. Pattis. I'm not giving one, sir. I'm making a record. So this is all Nik's lawyers talking to the judge. Have a seat. John, go out and ask them to move the yellow tape. Rah, rah, rah. Okay. Are they artfully set there, or the court? I don't know. I guess, Mr. Pattis. Yes, I don't. The court. I don't know. Let's see. So the court clerk. Do you want me to go off the record? Let's see. So they went off the record. So it says, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Okay, we're back on the record in the Commonwealth versus Nicholas Hastafio. Transcript 5279, 2019. Counsel is present. Defendant is present. Commonwealth's case call." Let's see. Call your next witness, please. So let's see. See if I can. Can I scroll in here? Nope. I can't. Mrs. Sakula, thank you, Your Honor. Before I call my next witness, could we just address for the jury, the court? Oh yes, Miss Sakula, why I'm missing co-counsel. The court, we're missing co-counsel Mr. McCarthy. Yesterday he received a phone call for a family emergency during the day, stayed with us during the day. He alerted us, and so that's his absence. His absence is due to his family emergency. But I just wanted to let you know. Ms. Sakula, thank you, Your Honor. We'll call Stephanie Wash, court officer. Who is Ms. Sakula? Stephanie Wash. So the court officer says, Stephanie Wash, remain standing, please. Place your right hand on the Bible, state your full name, and spell your last name for the court. Mrs. Wash, Stephanie Wash, W-A-S-H. Let's see. So it was duly sworn. So she said, good morning. Let's see what they're saying. Let's see. The court, Miss Sakula, you may begin, please. Miss Sakula, thank you, Your Honor. So Stephanie Wash, having been first duly sworn, was called as a witness herein and was examined and testified as follows. Direct examination by Miss Sakula. Good morning, Mrs. Wash. Good morning. Could you tell the jury without giving your full address where you currently live? Brooklyn, New York. And how are you employed? I work for ABC News. In what capacity? I am a coordinating producer for ABC News. Is there a particular show that you produce? I work for all of the network programs, Nightline 2020, Good Morning America, and I'm forgetting one, but all of them. And how long have you been with ABC? I have been there for 14 years. Okay, could you just subscribe to the jury your background in journalism? Sure. I've been with ABC for 14 years. I cover breaking news. I produce news specials for the network as well. And did you go to school for journalism? I got a bachelor's for print journalism for NYU. Do you also occasionally appear on air? I do. Now, Mrs. Wash, have you won any awards related to your journalism? I have. I've won several Emmy Awards. I won a Peabody Award this year. I've won Murrow Awards, several awards. Now, Mrs. Wash, do you know who Nik Hastafio is? No. Have you ever heard of Nik Hastafio prior to Detective Pisani contacting you? No. Have you ever heard of Nik Hat? No. Have you ever used the email address stephanie.wash@abc.com? Yes. Is How about stephanie.w@abc.com? No. Have you ever used the email address stephanie.wash.abc@outlook.com? No. I'm going to show you what's been previously marked and admitted as Commonwealth Exhibit 2. Miss Sakula, may I approach, Your Honor? The court says you may. Miss Sakula, Mr. Pattis, you have this, don't you? Miss Pat, no, I said Mr. Pattis. I think I've been saying Mr. Pattis this whole time. Miss Pattis, I do. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. By Miss, what does it say? By Miss Sakula. Miss Wash, do you recognize that document? No. Did you send that email? No, I did not. Okay, I'm going to pull that email up on the screen here, and this email purports to come from you, Stephanie Wash at ABC News. Is that right? Yes. And again, that email address that's associated with this email, have you ever used that email address? No, I have not. And at the bottom of the email, there's a signature. Is that typically how you sign an email sent from your work email address? Yes. Miss Wash, in this email, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraph down, you or the email references, I assume, D.A. Copeland heard the recording. Do you see that? Yes, I do. Do you know who D.A. Copeland is? No. And in the second paragraph, there's a reference to Nik Hastafio's office, and in the parentheses, it indicates Chief Content Officer. An original media group in Philadelphia. Have you ever heard of original media group? I have some stuff from that too. No, I want to show you what's been pre-marked and admitted as Commonwealth Exhibit 3. So Ms. Sakula says, the prosecutor says, may I approach again, Your Honor? The court says you may. All right, Ms. Wash, Exhibit 3 is a series of emails purportedly from you. Purportedly? Is that how you say it? Do you recognize those emails? No. Did you send any of those emails? No. I'm going to pull Exhibit 3 up on the screen for the jurors, and on page 2 that document of that document, there's an email from April 24, 2019 at 11:43 a.m. Do you see that? I do. Okay, the third line down, there's an indication that says, I know you must be crazed because I'm crazed. Do you recognize that? Yes. Something language. Okay, that language. I know you must be crazed because I'm crazed. Is that a phrase you have used in an email previously? Yes. Hold on one sec. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Okay. So let's see. So it says like craze, I'm crazed. Is that a phrase you have used in the email previously? Yes. Okay. And can you tell the jurors when? I was covering the Jussie Smollett case in Chicago a couple years ago, and I had written an email to the state's attorney office in Chicago requesting an interview regarding that case, and that email was released publicly on the internet due to a FOIA dump. Question. Okay, when you say a FOIA dump, what does that mean? It's the Freedom of Information Act, so people are able to request that documents are released to the public. Okay, Miss Wash, I want to show you what's been pre-marked as Commonwealth Exhibit 30. So the prosecutor says, may I approach, Your Honor? Yes. See, it says Mr. Pattis, and then it said Miss Pattis. Oh, they have a lot of typos in this bad boy. 3-0. Yes, 3-C-30. Yes, Your Honor. Prosecutor says, Miss Wash, I'd like you to take a look at that document. Is that an email that purports to be from you? Yes. And who is it? 2. A. Charles Peruto. Do you know who Mr. Peruto is? No. Miss Sakula, Your Honor, I would ask permission or I'd move for the admission of Commonwealth Exhibit 30 and ask to publish it to the jury. Mr. Pattis, I don't know what it is. Objection. Hearsay at this point. Foundation? Let's see. The prosecutor says, Your Honor, I'm bringing the email up to establish that Ms. Wash did not send the email and is not familiar with any of the contents in the email. I'm certainly not offering it for the truth of the matter asserted within the email. Mr. Pattis, then I don't see its relevance. The judge says, overruled. You may publish it. Thank you, Your Honor. So the prosecutor says, Ms. Wash, I'm going to ask you to take a look at the header that purports to come from you. I think that's the right word. I should have checked. Stephanie Wash. What is the email associated with that? Let's see. Stephanie.wash.abc@outlook.com. And again, that's not an email that you ever used. No. Okay, and what's the date on that email? Wednesday, April 24th, 2019. And what is in the subject line? Timely media request. Comment. Good morning, America. Okay, and could you please read for the jury the substance of that email? Hi, Mr. Peruto. For background purposes only, not to be reported, broadcasted, I work with Good Morning America in New York City. I know you must be crazed because I'm crazed after listening to that audio recording reviewing the surveillance camera incidents regarding Nik Hats. So it's Nik Hasafio. I can't say the last name. I'm sorry. I'm reaching out for any additional information you may have if it's available for release pertaining to a memo sent to me from our producers. Given Nick's status in the industry, we surely intend on covering this story on all of our platforms and ABC stations. We've reached out to the DA for comment, but she is working to figure out what's going on. According to Nick's office, they do not intend on releasing the audio video documents for dissemination until sometime in May. Based on the audio tapes, do you intend on filing any motion to call Detective Barry Williams to the stand? Based on that tape, is it possible that the old case against Nick will be thrown out due to Detective Williams' involvement? Do you intend on filing a civil suit? Will there be any court proceedings with Detective Williams that people captured on surveillance? If so, we would like to send a ground crew and arrange for interviews. The audio we obtained, a clipping of showcases. Detective Barry Williams stating, Nick, do yourself a favor and shut what? Do yourself a favor. Oh, where did it go? And shut the F up while you're in here. All right? You're a smart ass little prick, and until you effing get it straight, we're going to harass the piss out of you legally. Do you understand? You're just an effing punk, man. Could we get some clarity on what legal harassment is? Sounds like an oxymoron, i.e., you can't rob a bank legally. Also, has Nick or does he intend? Wow, this is Nick writing this. Nick wrote this email and pretended to be that lady from Good Morning America. This is about that thing with the parole officer, that racist email. He did. Excuse me. Um, let's see. Where does it say you can't rob a bank legally? Also, has Nick or does he intend to file a criminal complaint with the material? Sorry for the 21 questions, but we are eager to stay ahead of CNN on this one. Signature signed Stephanie Wash. Wow, Nick wrote that whole email. He's trying to figure out if he ain't. This explains everything about who he is. That's crazy. Coordinating producer, let me see. Coordinating producer, Good Morning America, 912-209-9088, direct. Question. And that phone number at the end of the signature purporting to be from you, is that your phone number? No. And the paragraph that indicates given Nik's status in the industry. Do you recognize that? No. This fool. This fool. There's 399 pages of it. So I don't think I'm going to get through the whole 399 pages, but it's interesting. Let's see. Hold on, let me see what I can do. Hold on. Let's see if I turn this down. Down just a little bit. Sorry, my bad. Let's see. Um, Hold on, let me find something. Let's see. This, I don't know if it could be here, but whatever. Let's see. So, and the paragraph, status, do you recognize that? No. Okay. Did you cover any story related to him? No. Did you reach out to the DA for comment regarding any story related to him? No. Did you ever speak to Nik's office? No. Did you have any concerns about CNN beating you to the story? No. Okay. Now I want to go back to exhibit 2. Do you still have that? Yes. With you? And just drawing your attention to the signature line here that says Stephanie Wash, coordinating producer, with a line. Is that right? Yes. And then it's ABC News, Good Morning America, correct? Correct. Is that right? And then I want to go to the exhibit 3 and your signature line on the third page or the last page of that document. Do you see that? Yes. Okay. And here we have a coordinating producer with the line Good Morning America. Is that right? Yes. And so that ABC Good Morning America is missing from that signature line. Yes. Okay. And then I want to go to Commonwealth Exhibit 30. And again, your signature line this time we have coordinating producer, the line Good Morning America. Is that right? Yes. And then a phone number / direct. Yes. Is that right? Now I want to show you one last exhibit. Commonwealth Exhibit 31. Prosecutor says, if I may approach, Your Honor, you may. So she says, Ms. Wash, I'm handing you a document. I've pre-marked Commonwealth Exhibit 31. Do you recognize that document? Yes. Is that an email that you actually authored? Yes. Prosecutor says, okay, Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Commonwealth Exhibit 31, that it may be published to the jury. Mr. Pattis, so that's one of Nik's attorneys. If she's offered it, Judge, and it's being used to prove the truth of the matter asserted. Isn't it hearsay? Isn't it hearsay? So hearsay. The court. I didn't hear what you said. Hearsay, sir. Response. It's her. Miss Sakula says, Miss Wash, is the declarant of the email. The court overruled. Mr. Pattis, it's hearsay. She sent it. How is it hearsay if she sent it? That doesn't make no sense. All right, Miss Wash, this email purports to come from you. Is that correct? I don't know if I'm saying that word right. I should check. Yes. And there is a signature line at the bottom of that email. Is that how your signature typically appears on the email? Yes, because I work for all of the shows, the entire network. I typically write my signature that way. Okay, and there's a C and an O at the bottom. Is that where your phone number would normally be? Yes. And we're redacted we're redacted that so that it's not made public. Thank you. And I draw your attention to the court. The judge says, let's go back to, for the record, what does the signature line say? The witness. Stephanie Wash, coordinating producer, line ABC News. The judge says, thank you. Prosecutor says, thank you, Your Honor. And Mrs. Wash, if who is this email to? It's to Robert Foley, who is a public information officer for the state's attorney's office in Chicago. And what was the subject line? ABC Good Morning America interview request. And could you just read the substance in, please? Hi, Robert. I know you must be crazed because I'm crazed. Again? I would like to submit a formal request for ABC to have First Assistant State's Attorney Joseph Magats live on GMA tomorrow. We can do a live shot from the SAO and do it live or pre-tape. If he's not available in the morning, is he available to tape briefly with ABC anytime tomorrow? This would air across the ABC network if he's available to appear exclusively. We'd welcome that, of course. Please feel free to email or call 24/7 if you have any questions about this request. I am available. Thanks so much, and thanks for all your help during this hectic time. Signed, Stephanie Wash, coordinating producer, ABC News. And is this the email that you were referring to that was released pursuant to the Freedom of Information Act? Yes. Miss Wash, did you give Nik Hastafio permission to use your name or your affiliation with? No. ABC News, did you have any idea that your name and affiliation with ABC News was being used to make media inquiries? This mofo. No. Okay. Do you recall being contacted by Detective Pisani in April of 2019? Yes. Okay. And did he ask you about the authenticity of certain emails? Yes. And what did you tell him? I told him I did not write the emails. And did you have any concerns what someone purporting to be you and affiliated with ABC News was making media inquiries on your behalf? Yes. Mr. Pattis, relevance judge, objection, relevance. Oh, Lord have mercy. Overruled. Yes. Prosecutor says, and what were those concerns? As a journalist, we try to protect our reputation. You know, it is our job to report the truth. So I was worried that someone might be using my name for a case that ABC was not covering and and the manner in which my name was being used. Prosecutor says, thank you, Ms. Walsh. I have no further questions. So cross-examination. So this is Nik's attorney. So Mr. Pattis says, Ms. Walsh, one question only. In your work as a journalist and an award-winning journalist at ABC News, have you ever taken steps to protect the identity of a source regarded as confidential? Ms. Sekula, objection, relevance, Your Honor. The court response, hold on. Mr. Pattis says, she's talked about her concerns for truth, protecting her sources, the integrity of the overruled. Mr. Pattis, news operations. You may answer. Have you ever taken steps to protect the identity of the source you regarded as confidential? I do not know how I would answer that. Truthfully. No, I understand truthfully. I don't know what you mean by protect a source. Have you ever taken information from somebody and promised to keep their identity confidential? On background or off the record, for example? Oh, on background or off the record, yes. So the defense attorney for Nik says, no further questions, Judge. No redirect, said the prosecutor. Thank you. So the judge says, Miss Wash, thank you. Your excuse. The witness, thank you. You may call your next witness, please. So the prosecutor says, Your Honor, we call Liam Stack. Liam Stack, ladies and gentlemen, while Mr. Stack is coming in, let me introduce you. This is my law clerk, Rachel Kimmy, who's a law student. So as part of being a member of the American Inaudible, one of the things we do is mentor. So Lee is here spending this semester with us. Court officer, remain standing. Okay. Place your right hand on the Bible, state your full name, spell out your last name for the court. Mr. Stack. My name is Liam Patrick Stack. Stack. Duly sworn in at 9:04 a.m. Oh, let me see. There's a lot of pages. Hold on. Let me check real quick. Let me see. Trying to see. Let's see where we're at. I don't even know how far this thing goes. Hold on one second. Damn, that's a lot of pages. What was they at? I don't even know what page it was on. Oh, there's the escorts. Talking about the escorts. Nik. Let's see. Detective Despasani. So we're up. Mr. Stack. This is the one right here. Quite sure. Hold on. Let's see. Damn, I went way. May I approach the witness? Let's see. Damn, I went way far down. Oh, you may begin. Let's see. Thank you, Your Honor. Liam Stack, having been sworn in, examined, testified as follows. Direct examination. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Could you tell the jurors where you currently live without providing your full address? I live in New York City. And how are you employed? I work for the New York Times. All right. How long have you been with the New York Times? I have worked for the New York Times since January 1st, 2011. So that'll be almost 11 years. And what is your current role with the New York Times? I am a religion writer for the Metro section, so I write about religious life in institutions in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Prior to becoming a religion correspondent, what was your role? Immediately before that, I was a general assignment writer, which kind of means you write about many different things, and a breaking news reporter. Have you ever been a Middle East correspondent? I was, yes. How long were you doing that? Lived in Cairo for 7 years, and I worked as a reporter in Cairo for like six and a half. Have you ever done any political reporting? I have. When did you do that? I covered the 2018 midterm elections. Can you just, briefly describe for the jurors your background in journalism? I began my career in Cairo, Egypt, where I worked for an Egyptian newspaper for 2 years, and then I began working for several American and a couple British publications, primarily the Christian Science Monitor in Boston. And then I began working for the Times in 2011, also in Cairo. Now, Mr. Stack, have you ever met Nik Hastafio? I have not. Prior to being contacted about this investigation, have you ever heard of him? I had no. Have you ever heard of Nik The Hat? Before this case, I had not. Okay, Mr. Stack, have you ever used the email address liamstacknewyork at outlook.com? I have not. Wow, Nick. No wonder why you got convicted. Weirdo. Let's see. I'm going to have to get some drink right now. So the prosecutor says, Your Honor, may I approach the witness? The court said, You may. So uh, the process by the prosecutor says, Mr. Stack, I'm going to show you a multi-page document. It's previously marked and admitted as Exhibit 4, and that the document purports to be a series of email exchanges between yourself and a Chelsea Price. Did you send those emails? I did not. And I'm going to bring up page 1 of Exhibit 4 and draw your attention to the signature purporting to be from you. I don't know. I hope I'm saying that right. I should check right now. It indicates Liam Stack, National Correspondent. Is that your title? It is not, and has never been. Wow. Has never been. When you sign an email from the New York Times, do you include the New York Times log? I do not. This email from April 24, 2019 at 10:09 p.m. references an investigation regarding Nik Hastafio, Chief Content Officer, an original media in Philadelphia. Were you ever working on a story involving Nik Hastafio? I was not. Have you ever heard of original media? Before this case, I had not. Have you ever heard of YC News? Before this case, I had not. And in this first email, paragraph 3, there's a reference to an attorney, Charles Peruto. Do you know who that is? And I do not. Did you reach out to Mr. Peruto? No, I have not. Wow, Nick, he's a trip, dude. He's over there. Oh my God, what a loser. Okay, and then I want to refer your attention to the second page of the document. Do you see an email date April 25th, 2019 at 4:08 p.m.? I do. And there's an indication that the New York Times has a reporter heading to Delaware County overnight to obtain documents. Do you see that in the third paragraph? I see that, yes. As far as you were aware, was there a New York Times reporter heading to Delaware County there was not. And then also on page 2 of the document, do you see an entry from 4/25/2019 at 3:17 p.m.? I do. And in the fourth paragraph, starting with the word also, do you see that? I do. Okay. And in that paragraph, it indicates Mr. Peruto provided the New York Times with a comment, and there's a quote. Do you see that? I see that, yes. Okay, as far as you're aware, did Mr. Peruto provide any comment to the New York Times? As far as I'm aware, he did not. I wonder who Mr. Peruto is. Is that the parole officer that he set up? I wonder. Excuse me. I'm sorry of that same exhibit, an email dated April 29, 2019 at 11:59 p.m. Do you see that email? I do see it, yes. Um, what does it say? I do see it, yes. And in the second paragraph, it indicates that the New York Times has reached out to the USAO for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania and the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office for comment. Are you aware of whether that happened? As far as I'm aware, that never happened. Now, the content of these emails, have you ever had an opportunity to review them in their entirety? I have, yes. Are they typical emails that you would send as part of your roles and duties as a New York Times reporter? They are different than what I might send. How so? Several of them I find to be unnecessarily hostile and aggressive in a way that I would not behave with a public affairs officer. Mr. Stack, did you give Nik Hastafio permission to use your name and or affiliation with the New York Times to make media inquiries? I did not. Did you have any idea that your name and affiliation were being used? I had no idea. Were you contacted by investigators in 2019? I was, yes. Is that when you first learned that this was occurring? Yeah, that's when I first learned about this situation. Were you asked about the authenticity of these emails? At that time, yes, I was. And what did you tell the detectives? That I had not written them. Mr. Stack, do you have any concerns that someone was making media inquiries using your name and affiliation with the New York Times? Yeah, that's very concerning. And just tell the jury why that's concerning to you. Any kind of, I think, identity theft is jarring, first and foremost. And second of all, as I send the emails are written in a way that is very hostile and aggressive, that I would not speak to someone in, work interaction, and it makes me look hostile and aggressive, and I think kind of unprofessional. So that's a concern. So the prosecutor says, "Thank you, Mr. Stack. I have no further questions." The court says cross-examination. The Mr. Pattis says, "None, Judge." The court says, "Okay, you may step down. Thank you. You're excused." "Thank you." "Okay, you may call your next witness." Damn. Let's do. "Thank you, Your Honor. Well, we'll call Detective Pisani. Remain standing, put your hand on the Bible, state your full name, and spell your last name for the court." Detective Pisani. Detective Pisani, Pisani. Witness duly sworn at 9:13 a.m. The court. Miss Sakula, you may begin. So, thank you, Your Honor. So, Detective Edmund Pisani, having first duly sworn, was called as a witness herein and was examined and testified as follows. Direct examination at 9:14 a.m. Detective, can you tell the jury how you're employed? Sure, I am currently employed with the Delaware County District Attorney's Office, the Criminal Investigation Division. There I'm assigned as a detective. Hold on. Keep dropping. As a detective. Wait. I'm assigned as a detective with the Internet Crimes Against Children Unit. Okay, as part of that role, do you have any specialized duties? Um, so most of my duties are computer forensics and digital forensics, examining cell phones, also investigating cyber crimes and cyber tips that we get in, tracing, people creating child pornography online. And as part of that role, do you receive specialized training? I do. Prosecutor says, okay, Your Honor, may I approach the witness? You may. Detective, I'm going to hand you a multi-page document. It's been pre-marked as Commonwealth's Exhibit 69. The court, which number is it? 69, Your Honor. Do you recognize that document? I do. And what is it? This is my CV, or like a fancy resume that outlines my background and all my training and investigations that I've or not investigations that I've or not investigations. The trainings that I have in regards to mostly digital forensics. Prosecutor says, Your Honor, it's my understanding that there's a stipulation that Detective Pisani is qualified to testify as an expert in the field of forensic analysis of digital devices and digital forensics. Mr. Pattis, we're not contesting that, Judge. The court, forensic analysis and digital forensics. The prosecutor said, okay, so stipulated to. So, ladies and gentlemen, an expert witness is different than a normal lay witness in that an expert witness can give opinions based on their knowledge, their training, their expertise, and so counsel has stipulated that Mr. Pisani possesses the qualifications to answer any questions as an expert in the field of forensic analysis and digital forensics. Prosecutor says you may continue. Thank you, Your Honor. So she says, Detective Pisani, all of the opinions that you'll be giving to the jury today will be provided those with to within a reasonable degree of certainty with your expertise. Yes. Okay, are you the lead investigator in the case? Yes. Can you tell the jurors how you initially became involved? Initially, I became involved sometime late April of 2019 when Miss Price had approached me with some printed out emails regarding these suspicious emails to her. You know what she was getting, so I had started looking into it for them. Okay, what names were associated with the suspicious emails? They were addressed to Miss Price from Liam Stack and Miss Wash. Wow, he was fucking doing all kinds of just like what he's doing right now. With regard to the initial emails Miss Price testified to yesterday from National News Desk YC and Nik Hastafio, were you familiar with Mr. Hastafio? I was, from previous investigations. Okay, and did those previous investigations involve Mr. Hastafio's use of electronic devices? Yes. Okay, and with regard to an investigation for which Mr. Hastafio had been on probation due to, when that offense occurred, I believe that was in 2015. He was arrested for sending escorts. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So Nik the Hat, here it is, where he was talking this the actual court transcript. I believe that was in 2015. He was arrested for sending escorts or prostitutes to his neighbor's house, watched them approach the neighbor's door, and then anonymously called 911 and reported to the police over a series of many days. I believe upwards of 10 days. Wow. And sending the escorts and the prostitutes to the neighbor's house and watching them. Are you mentioned, and you mentioned Backpage. Did he say Backpage? I didn't see him say Backpage.
Yes, and can you just describe for the jury what that is? Backpage used to be a website. It's not available anymore. It's since been taken down, but it was known for prostitution and escort services. And you're indicating that Mr. Hastafio contacted escorts on Backpage. Is that right? That's what the criminal complaint used to say. What? That's what the criminal complaint used to say. Yes. And what did he do? He would call them to their house, and at one point, the victim had to put a chain link fence up. Oh my God. It's not funny, but it's like, it's wow. Chain link fence up her driveway because it was a big driveway. So the way they were coming all the way up. You know she wanted people to stop. She couldn't get them to stop coming, so she tried to block them with a chain link fence. And what would happen when these escorts would arrive at the neighbor's house? Hmm. Mr. Pattis, objection. May we approach judge? Sidebar discussion at 9:19 a.m. Mr. Pattis, I'm not sure where the Commonwealth is going, sir. Mr. Pattis says, I'm not sure where the Commonwealth is going, sir, but my objection will be to hearsay if he attempts to repeat anything that Mr. Hastafio said to the prostitute. There's a claim that in the reports that Mr. Hastafio said use the N word in communicating with the prostitutes. Wow. So if the prostitute says that so if the prostitute says that to the officer and it's offered here, I think it's hearsay, highly inflammatory and prejudicial. We deny it. And the prostitute herself would have to be the one to come in and say it. So I'm not sure how far he's going here, but in the anticipation that this would naturally lead there, I'm objecting anticipatorily anticipator wait anticipatorily and moving in Lyman Demon to preclude such evidence motion. Miss Sakula, yes, Your Honor, my understanding of your order permitted us to bring in the details of the crime for which Mr. Hastafio was on probation, and he did plead guilty to those charges. The court overruled. His attorney says, overruled. Well, all right, I'll take an exception. I'll take an exception. Shut the front door. Miss Sakula, all right, detective. I'm losing my voice for some reason, which is not good. Excuse me, detective. You had indicated, I believe you were testifying that I've asked you what would happen when these escorts would arrive at the neighbor's house and had not ordered these escorts. Yeah, he would call 911 and then watch the police respond and stop them and, watch the drama unfold, so to speak. When you say he would call 911, who do you mean by he? Mr. Hastafio. And was there any racially charged language used during these incidents? Mr. Pattis, objection. Hearsay, judge. Overruled, the judge said. I apologize, but at one point he referred to them. He said, I like to watch. Oh, I don't even want to say that word. I like to watch the N word get locked up, and more N words are going to get in trouble. Wow. What a loser. What a fucking person with no fucking nothing better to do in his life but sit here and be an annoying fucking son of a beep. All right, and any election were there any electronic devices used during these incidents? I believe his cell phone and laptop. And did Mr. Hastafio ultimately plead guilty to the charges of harassment related to, yes, these offenses, yes. And he was placed on probation. Is that right? Correct. Okay. And then I want to draw your attention to January of 2016. Was Mr. Gestavio still on probation for those offenses? Yes. Okay. And at some point during that probation, were you requested to forensically examine any of his electronic devices? Yes. Who asked you to do that? There was another investigator that was assisting Mr. Ronnie in investigating the cell phone. I was just assigned to do the forensic analysis of his device. And what was the nature of the concern that the probation officer had? He was supposedly recording, making prank phone calls and recording people and bothering them and harassing them and filming it. What a loser. Moving on a little bit, do you recall the April 22nd, 2019 emails to Chelsea Price from National News Desk and also directly from Mr. Hastafio that were in Exhibit 1? Yes. Okay. Did both of those emails reference investigations into several Delaware County agencies? Yes. And in the email that came directly from Mr. Hastafio, do you recall how he identified himself? I don't recall off the top of my head would it refresh your recollection if I pulled the exhibit up? Or, yes, please, I'll show you the exhibit. May I approach, Your Honor? You may. And Detective, do you recognize the Commonwealth's Exhibit 1 as one of the first emails sent to Chelsea Price? Yes. Okay, and one of the emails from the address associated with Mr. Hastafio. It says Nik at omgclink.com. What? And how does Mr. Hastafio identify himself? His title line says Chief Content Officer. Editor-in-Chief and President of News Original Media Group Corporation, 1 Liberty Place, Level 36, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Wow. And with regard to the Commonwealth's Exhibit 5, with the court's permission, I'll put that on the screen. The court says you may. Do you recall that Commonwealth's Exhibit 5 is? It was another news desk email to Chelsea Price and copied to Emily Harris. Okay. And this was a couple days after the April 22nd email. Yes. Okay. And in this sub, or I'm sorry, what was the last time sent? What was the time sent, date, and time sent of the first email? The first email was sent on Monday, April 22nd, 2019 at 9:37 p.m. Do you have 5 on the screen there? I can see it. Do you see the time in that email? Yes. Can you read it? Yeah, it says Thursday, April 25th, 2019 at 1:07 p.m. 1:07 p.m. I think I misheard you. I apologize. So let me stop you. What was the 9:37 p.m.? The witness. I'm sorry, that was Exhibit 1 I read. The prosecutor said, okay, that was because the record is not clear. Is not clear. Miss Sakula, right. That was my fault, Your Honor. I realized that the minute I had asked him that. So the court said, and this Commonwealth Exhibit 5 is on the screen now. The judge said, so C1 was at 9:37 p.m.? Right, said the prosecutor. And now we're on C5 at 1:07 p.m., sir. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. And then the second page of that document, the second email from YC News, what time does that come in? That says Thursday. Let's see. That says Thursday, April 25th, 2019 at 3:31 p.m. Okay, and detective, are you aware if the district attorney's office received a voicemail on the same date, April 25th, 2019? Yes. Okay, do you recall what time that phone call came in? I don't remember the exact time it came in, but they had contacted me and said they received a voicemail and they wanted me to listen to it. Do you recall if the caller identifies himself? He did. How so? I think it was Nik with Original Media Group. Have you listened to that recording? I have. Okay, did you recognize the voice? I did. How did you recognize the voice? Just from the prior investigations and the prank phone calls. I understand that to be Mr. Hestafio's voice. The prosecutor said, Hi, Flying Ryan. Good evening. I'm just reading this Nik The Hat transcripts. I don't know if you're familiar with who he is, but this is when he got his conviction, and he's still doing his shenanigans right now on X and causing a whole bunch of chaos involving a missing child and just to get clout and whatever. I don't know. The guy with no life is a loser. Mr. Pattis, no objection, sir. Okay, admitted and published. Playback of audio recording as follows. Could the jury all hear that? Yeah, it was too loud. It's not good. Shall I try to play it again? Maybe a little lower. Turn it down a little lower, la la la. So they play back the audio again. Is that better? Yes, 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 yes. Was that better, ladies and gentlemen? Oh shit. Better. Okay. All right, detective. In that voicemail, the defendant references several investigations into several Delaware County agencies. Yes, similar to the emails that had been sent to Chelsea Price from YC News Desk. Yes, and also he identifies himself as Nik from Original Media Group. Is that right? Yes. Um, and the emails from National News Desk YC, did they also include Original Media Group in the signature line? Yes. Okay, and on that voice message, did Mr. Hestafio provide the number 267-648-8561? Yes, he did so twice. Yes, okay, is that the same number associated with Exhibit 1? Yes, for the cell phone number of Exhibit 1, it's the same number. And Exhibit 1 is the email coming from Nik's email address to Chelsea Price. Correct. Now, as part of your investigation, detective, did you conduct any search for social media accounts belonging to Mr. Hestafio? Um, where did I see that? Right there. Okay. I did. Okay. Were you able to locate a Facebook page associated with him? There was numerous, including Facebook. Okay, and on his Facebook page specifically, did he list a profile name? Yes. And what was that? It was Nicholas or Nik Tizimas Hestafio. Okay, now was Nik spelled Nik? And do you recall how you said Tizimas? I think that's how it is. It's Tzimas. Tzimas? Yes. Okay. And was Hestafio spelled correctly? Yes, I think so. And am I correct that that's spelled Hatziefstathio? IOU. Oh, snap. Yes, reasonably difficult name to spell and say correct. And the Tzimas name, do you see that on other documents related to the defendant? I believe it was on one of his other paperwork, on one of his other paperwork that I had. Yes. Okay, and have you seen other family members or people associated with the defendant also shit, also use these this stupid use oh snap. No. Cancel. Use these what did it say? Other family members use these, people associated with her also use that name. Yes. In the, on the Facebook page, was there a nickname indicated in parentheses? In parentheses, it had Nik the Hat. Was there any sort of statement under the profile name? After the arrest, there was a statement added to his account. And what was that? It was America's most reliable fake news reporter. Did Mr. Estafio Facebook page include any other social media sites that had the moniker Nik the Hat? Yeah, there were links to the news stuff and all that stuff. Yeah. Any Twitter accounts or other social media? There was like Twitter, I think Snapchat, like Nik the Hat Snapchat, stuff like that. And were you present, detective, for the prior hearing in this matter in which defense counsel stipulated that Mr. Hastafio could be referred to as Nik the Hat? Yes. Did the Facebook page indicate who Mr. Hastafio's employer was? I think it was Original Media Group or something like that. And were you able to access Original Media Group's from the Facebook page? At that time, I had followed it, his Facebook page to that site. Yeah. And when you say you followed it, just describe to the jury, for the jury, how you were able to do that. It was like a hyperlink. When you're on the internet, you just click on it and it takes you to that page. And most people are nodding as though they know what time it is. And it's sort of something that's highlighted. You can click on it and it takes you to the next site. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Was there a similar link to any other news site? I don't remember off the top of my head. Do you recall if there was anything associated with YC News? Yes. Similarly, could you follow a link? I don't recall if there was a link to that at that time. I have a whole bunch of that original media stuff too. I have some stuff from that too. Did Mr. Hastafio's Facebook page include any photos that you recognized specifically of him? Um, there was pictures of him. I mean, mostly of him. Yeah, of course. Your Honor, may I approach? Yes, he's from At Night. Yes, yes, Flying Ryan. He is. Yes. This is 399 pages, but I think it's extremely interesting. Like I mean, it all coincides with exactly what he's doing now. Do you recognize that? Wait, see, detective, I'm handing you what's been marked as Commonwealth 29. Do you recognize what that is? Yes. What is it? So this guy is a forensic. So she's talking to is he's a forensic detective. So he does all the like the cell phones and all that stuff. So they're using him as an expert witness for all the shenanigans and all the bullshit that he pulled before he got convicted. The reason why he got convicted. This is a screenshot that I had taken off his Facebook profile sometime after his arrest. Your Honor, may I publish? Or I move for the admission of Commonwealth's Exhibit 29 and request that it be published to the jury. Mr. Pattis, and that's Nick's, one of Nick's attorneys. What? Brief voyeur dire, sir? What does that mean? Brief voyeur dire of the witness. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to pick it. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out what it means because I am very curious. So let's see. We're gonna look over here. Put it over here. It is. Oh wait, shoot. I didn't get it. Copy. So I want to find out what that means. So I know. Paste. The meaning. See, what is the meaning? The voyeur, to speak the truth. The phrase warrior dire, I don't know how to, if I'm saying it, literally means to speak the truth in court. It refers to a process of determining whether a juror can serve fairly and impartially in a given case by asking the juror various questions. Huh. Let's see how you say it. Voidier. That's how you say it. Voidier. Well, there we go. Voidier. Mm. So, by Mrs. Sir, you say after the arrest, was that the arrest given which arrest you're referring to? I'm sorry, after the arrest for this incident. And that, wait, let's see, hold on. Wait, did I skip something? Sometime after his arrest. No. So, sir, you say after the arrest was that the arrest given which arrest are you referring to? I'm sorry. After the arrest for this incident, and that took place when July of 2019. So this photograph was captured sometime after July 2019, correct? Mr. Pattis, that's the defense attorney. No objection, Judge. The court. Okay, thank you. You may publish it. So the prosecutor says, okay, detective, the background picture there, do you recognize who's depicted in it? Yes. And who is it? That's Nik. And there's the background picture is cut off somewhat at the top there. Do you recall what that says? That is a picture of the Daily Times after, I believe, his preliminary hearing or after he was arrested in this case. So it was the front page of news of the Daily Times. And what does it say? It said, I think it says hat trick or something like that, a play on his name. And do we see what you had referred to earlier as Nik Tizimus Hastafio? Yes, a nickname in parentheses. Yes, and where is the? It's a little hard to see, but underneath Mr. Hastafio's profile name, what's written? It says America's most reliable fake news, in quotes, reporter, and then it has a little trademark symbol next to it. At least he purported. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. That that phrase was trademarked. Is that right? Yes. Now the address listed on the emails to Chelsea Price from YC News and Original Media Group, was there, that address was listed on those documents on the as the place where the news was correct. It's the One Liberty Place, level 36 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And were you able to confirm whether or not that was a legitimate address? It is. Okay, One Liberty Place. Is that a building or is that the actual address? The actual address, I believe, was 1650 Market Street. It was the One Liberty Place is the skyscraper in Philadelphia, just like how he did the World Trade Center address on at night. Just like he did that. Yep, he sure did. I can't look it up here because I don't think I have X on here. Um. Okay, did you actually go to that address? I did. Can you describe for your jurors what's inside that building? So first, we weren't sure if there was actually something there. When we did get there, it's actually a floor where you could rent a desk monthly. How ironic. Like you could just any kind of business could be there. They all had a price, whatever you wanted to pay. They could answer phones for you. There you go. There it is. They could receive mail for you. It's kind of like a cohabiting place. Cohabiting office space that one rents. Is that right? Yes. Okay. And did you see an office space purportedly, hold on, let me see how you say this word because this is going to drive me crazy. I gotta see. Copy text. Let's see. Let's take this one off. Wait. Wait. 1 second, guys. Hold on. Let's see. I should put the link out just if somebody wanted to come up because it's not boring, it's interesting, but it's a lot of pages to read. Let's see. Meaning of let's see. Wait. Meaning how do you say paste and how do you say it? Purportedly. I was saying it right. Cool. Purportedly. Let's see. Oh, see, now it's small. I don't know if I can make it larger. Let's see. Other people's channel infamous. No. Let's see. Let me see. I'm just gonna put the link up because I am like, just in case. Let's see. Where do I get the link at? Hello. I don't even know where I get the link at. Hold on 1 second. Nope. Let's see. Notes, chat. Let's see. Hold on 1 second here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, right here. Is this it? Nope. All right. Well. Oh, copy link right here. Paste. That's the link. If anybody wanted to come up, I don't know. I'm just going to read this because I'm just doing a test run anyway. But I figured I'd just go through all this. See what it looks like on Restream. Can't really see it. Make it bigger. Oh, shoot. I have to take that. Okay, we're going to have to take this off. And there we go. Maximize. Is that it? That's all I can do. Let's see over here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, did you see an Office Space? Yes, it does. Reportedly, yes. Okay, and did you see an Office Space report purportedly for Original Media Group for YC News? Yes. And can you just describe what it looked like for the jurors. I see what you said, Flying Ryan, that you're, I'll put you to sleep quick with this reading. Quick, fast, in a hurry. It was small. It was very tiny, and it was shared with another person. So his was on the left side of a very small, like almost closet like office. And there was someone to his right. While you were there, did you locate any documents with Mr. Hestafio's name on it? Yes. Okay. Now, YC News, is that linked to any other address? There was numerous things that it was linked to. But yeah, there was numerous addresses. Okay, is there an address that it was linked to in Broomall, Pennsylvania? Yes. Okay, what address is that? That was 712 Cedar Grove Road in Broomall, Pennsylvania. And now, and how was YC News linked to that address? That was the billing information from the website. And what is Mr. Hestafio's address? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Mm, well, should have looked it up. I didn't even realize it was that. Anyway, who cares? Because I don't. It's public documents. Now the jurors have heard. I should have took it out, but heard testimony that the what I'll call the original email from Stephanie Wash is stephanie.w at symbol abc.com went into or did not make it into Chelsea Price's inbox. Do you recall the testimony? That testimony, yes. And can you provide the jurors with the explanation as to why that would have happened? Basically, the county's email system doesn't want to get spam, so they want to make sure that what they're receiving is real. The system checked and realized that the IP address, which is like your internet address, didn't match abc.com. So it basically flagged it as suspicious and pushed it to the side, and that's why she didn't have it in her inbox. And when the follow-up email came through from the Stephanie Walsh email associated with Outlook.com, did it no longer have the ABC.com address associated with it? Correct. Okay, and that follow up email purportedly was Stephanie Wash is Exhibit 3. Yes. Do you have that in front of you? I don't have that one in front of me, but I do remember that one. The prosecutor says, may I approach, Your Honor? You may. The prosecutor says, detective is, detective, is that the series of exchanges between Stephanie Wash and Chelsea Price? Yes. And I just want to bring up Exhibit 3 on the final page, the email, April 24, 2019, 11:31 a.m. Do you see that? Yes. And in the signature line, it has Get Outlook for iOS at the bottom. Do you see that? Yes. What is the significance of that? To me, that indicated that it came from some kind of Apple product or some kind of Apple device, whether it be an iPhone, iPad, and why does that indicate that to you? Because that's what the Apple operating system refers to itself as iOS. Now, the phone number associated still at that signature line was 912-209-9088. Did you take any investigative steps to determine who that phone number was? Where'd it go? Yes. And what did you learn? So I looked up this number to see who owned it. It came back to bandwidth.com. Bandwidth is a company that sells internet numbers to Google and people so that you could have an IP. Oh, like, what should I call it? Like an IP phone. Wow. So it's not your normal typical phone. It comes to your data plan side. So you can send and received text messages and phone calls and stuff like that. I contacted Bandwidth and they replied that it came back to an what? Ad hoc labs burner. What? Okay, so bandwidth.com is sort of like an internet based phone number assigner. So then it gives you an IP address. Wow. So he's trying to divert all that shit. Correct. Okay, so if I subscribe to AT&T, my phone number is given to me by AT&T. Is that right? Yes. Okay, so if a number is given to an individual by Bandwidth, what's the difference between Bandwidth and AT&T? They're like a reseller of numbers. They, give an allotment of numbers out to these companies for them to use it as, um, let's see. Oh, there goes my mouse again. For them to use these allotment of numbers for them to use these texting apps that aren't on a typical, cell phone line. And when you say these companies, is Ad Hoc Labs one of these companies? Yes. So did Ad Hoc Labs sort of purchase this from Bandwidth or use it through Bandwidth? Mr. Pattis, objection, Judge. Foundation. This is, I don't know what it's leading. It's leading foundation. Right. It's leading foundation. We're talking about companies that aren't declarants here. So I don't know where we are. Foundation. The court. Ms. Sakula, back up, please. And Your Honor, at this point, I am just asking for his investigative steps that he took to one step after the next, I believe. Mr. Pattis, I don't object to those questions, but the narrative about what this means, that means, and what other companies do and say, I object to that on the foundation grounds. Overruled. Everything's getting overruled over his attorneys. He's qualified as an expert. Let's see. He's qualified as an expert. So belong to assigned to him. Yes. Burner is an application that you can download onto your cell phone, and it gives you a temporary number so that you can call, make calls out, appear that it's coming from another. So it's like a spoof, like a spoof number, like not your device. So it comes from this phone number. And when you're done using it, where'd they go? Sorry. And when you're done using it, you quote burn it, which basically removes it from your phone. And you indicated that you downloads that what? That you downloads that to your phone. What? And you indicated that you downloads that to your phone. It's not preloaded onto a phone. Correct. Okay, active measures have to be taken. Yes. And are you aware whether the defendant had used the app Burner during any previous investigations? Yes. Okay. And when, let's see. And when, so when I had forensically examined his device over the prank phone calls, the app that was used in that investigation was Burner. And are these prank phone calls you referred to after Mr. Hastafio's probation officer provided you with his phone? Yes. That forensic exam was a result of his phone being seized. And during those phone calls was prank phone calls, uh, the prank phone calls, was Mr. Hastafio's name mentioned? So they were trying to disguise their voice when they were talking to the individual. And at one point, the guy said, "Nik, what are you doing?" Like basically called him out. And at the conclusion of the call, I could hear Mr. Hestafio say, "You know how how do you know my name? That's why I didn't want to do it." Or "How did you know it was me? I didn't want to do it." Something along those lines. And you're indicating that a burner number, the burner app was used to make those phone calls. Yes. Okay, in fairness, the phone that was used during that 2016 incident was not any phone that was related to the current charges. Correct. It was an older phone. Yes. Now, detective, there'll be some testimony that you eventually served a search warrant at the defendant's house. Is that right? Yes. Okay, and he also consented to the search of the vehicle. Yes. And were devices seized at the time? Yes. And speaking specifically to the devices seized from the vehicle the defendant was driving, is that right? Yes. Did any of those devices contain the burner app? The iPhone XS Max that was seized contained the burner app on it. And does the iPhone XS Max contain evidence relevant to this investigation? Yes. You've already testified that the number used on the Wash email associated with her number. Do you recall that? Yes. You have already indicated that was a burner number. Um, okay, and what would have happened if someone tried to call that number? I'm not sure if it rings. If they deleted it, I'm not sure. So you've already indicated that if you use a burner number on your phone, you can delete it and burn it. Yes. Okay. Do you know what happens if the number remains on the phone? That I'm not sure. Okay. Now, as part of your investigation, the initial investigation into the Wash and Stack emails, did you contact Miss Wash and Mr. Stack? Yes. What was the purpose of doing that? I wanted to see if it was actually coming from them, like they were strongly worded, and I wanted to see if it was actually coming from them. And what did you learn? They both told me no. They had no idea who this was. They didn't even know where Delaware County was. A lot of people think it's in Delaware, so they were probably completely confused. All right. Did you conduct any further investigation into the Outlook email associated with Stephanie Wash? Stephanie.wash.abc @ outlook.com. I did. Okay, what was the first step you took? I obtained the search warrant for the outlook.com contents for Stephanie, the fake Stephanie Wash email. And who did you send that search warrant? Oh, wait. Where did I see it? What was it? Okay, let's see. And who did you send that search warrant to? Outlook is owned by Microsoft, so I sent them to Microsoft. The prosecutor says, "May I approach, Your Honor?" You may. The prosecutor says, "Detective, I'm going to show you a multi-page document that I've pre-marked as Commonwealth Exhibit 7. Do you recognize what that is?" The judge says, what's Miss Sakula Miss Sakula says, "I'm sorry, I apologize." The court, "When you walk with your back to me, I can't hear the Miss Sakula. I do that every time, Your Honor. I apologize. It won't happen again." 7. The court, 7. Thank you. This is the search warrant that I authored against asking for Microsoft to return the records for the account stephanie.wash.abc @ outlook.com. And can you just briefly explain to the jurors what you were seeking as part of that search warrant. I was seeking the contents of the emails, whether IP addresses, and any other data that we could find out actually who is using this address. And did you receive a response from Microsoft? I did. Okay, do you remember when that was? I don't recall the exact date that I received their records. No. And I don't believe I asked you what the date of the search warrant was. The date of the search warrant is April 30th of 2019. Miss Sukula, that's the prosecutor. May I approach again, Your Honor? Yeah, you may. Detective, I'm going to show you what's been pre-marked as Commonwealth's Exhibit number 9. Do you recognize that series of documents? Yeah, there are record returns. These are record returns from stephanie.wash.abc@outlook.com. I wonder why it's in blue. Oh, no. We're not going to do that. From Microsoft. Yes, okay. And based on your review, I'm going to have to look on that later. Let me highlight. Mm. And based on your review of those documents that Microsoft provided, what were you able to determine? That the account was being logged in from the IP address located in Broomall. And do you have what IP address that was? I believe it was the 108.16109.249. Oh, 108.16.109.249. Sitting down for too long. Okay. And could you tell when that email was logged into? They gave me last login times on here, which was there was a 424 was the 424 2019. Okay, and what was the date of the first email claiming to be from Stephanie Wash using the outlook.com email? I think it was 424/19, same date. Yes, okay. Did you also conduct further investigation regarding the Liam Stack outlook.com email account? Oh my goodness, we're going to go through him now. I just want to get to good stuff. I did. Well, this is good stuff too, because it's saying how this guy broke it all down. I did the same thing. I obtained a second search warrant. May I approach again, Your Honor? You may. Detective, I'm going to show you what's been pre-marked as Commonwealth's Exhibit 10 and also Commonwealth's Exhibit 12. So first, with regard to Commonwealth's Exhibit 12, 10, what is that document? This is also a search warrant that I obtained for the Liam Stack ny@outlook.com. And when did you obtain that search warrant? The same date, April 30th of 2019. Okay, did you receive results from Microsoft? I did. Okay, and referring your attention to Exhibit 12, what is that? This is the same result, not same result, but it's the same document, but regarding Mr. Stack's email. And based on your review of the Microsoft records, what were you able to determine? That again, the same IP address, 108 or point whatever 16.109.249 was also logging into this account. And when did the first login? And when was the first login? The first login is showing 425 of 2019 at 1:53 or 1:51 in the morning. And that IP address ended in 249. Is that the same exact IP address as associated with the Wash Outlook emails? Yes. And what does that tell you, Detective? When I was investigating this, it indicated to me that it was coming from the same residence or the same whatever that person was logging into is the same person. So both email addresses were logged into from the same IP address. Correct. And were you able to determine what type of phone was used to create those Outlook email accounts? Microsoft provided that it was an Outlook for an iOS device that had created it. Does that limit it to a certain brand of phone? Yeah, that's what he said. Apple. It was an Apple product. Boy, goes too fast. It was an Apple product, so it could have been an iPad or an iPhone. Or were you able to determine anything related to the device ID? So Microsoft also provided a device ID or unique device ID to mark which application it was, and the device ID for both of them matched. So it's like a series of long string numbers, like a long string numbers that is unique to that device. So at this point, you know that both devices, or I'm sorry, both emails were logged into at the same IP addresses using the same device. Correct. It was an Apple device? Correct. Can you just briefly explain for the jurors what an IP address is? So the IP address is just like your mailing address on the internet. If you have an IP address, then you can talk to other computers on the network. That's how you talk to each other. So what? So Yahoo.com or Google.com has an IP address, but we use the name because it helps. We're easier to remember names and numbers. And if a subscriber, if you have, if I have, say, Verizon internet at my home and I do something with one of my devices, it will show that IP address. Is that right? Correct. And if I'm paying the bill, um, where did it go? We're logged into, it was an Apple device. Oh, wait, that's up here. I'm paying, what did you say? I'm paying the bill. Where is that at? So both the were logged. Microsoft provided Outlook. Does that limit to a certain brand of phone? Apple. He said Apple. So at this point, you know both of those are correct. Can you just briefly explain to the jurors what an IP address? Okay, you already did that one. Okay, right here, the bill. And if I'm paying the bill and I'm the subscriber, correct? Is that right? If other individuals use my Wi-Fi at home, will they be using the same IP address? Correct. Now, were you able to determine to do anything to do were you able to determine to do anything to determine the geographical location of the IP address used for both of those emails? Yes. And what was that? So to figure out where the IP address was, I went to the website called maxmind.com, which is like an online database of IP addresses to geolocate them. In this case, when I plugged in this IP address, it came back to Broomall, Pennsylvania. So that way I knew it was in my jurisdiction, Delaware County, and it was the town. It provided a general idea of where it was. God. Oh, where was? And again, you've already indicated that the defendant lives in Broomall. Correct. Okay, were you able to conduct any further investigation specific to the IP addresses ending in 249? So once I had all the information together, I did a court order asking Verizon, who was the owner of the IP address, to let me know who it was using the IP address. So on those dates and times, you indicated that you obtained a court order. Correct. Okay. What were you seeking? I was seeking for Verizon, or I was asking for Verizon to tell me who was using the IP addresses. So they normally typically give us the person who's paying the bill's name, and then the service address to where the internet service is actually originating from. The prosecutor said, "May I approach again, Your Honor?" "Yes, you may." "Detective, I'm going to hand you what's been pre-marked Commonwealth Exhibit 13. Damn, how many exhibits are there? Commonwealth Exhibit 15. First, with regard to Commonwealth Exhibit 13, do you recognize what that is? This is the court order that I obtained directing Verizon to return the results to me. And what's the date on the order? It's the 23rd of May, 2019. Correct. Okay, what is Commonwealth Exhibit 15? 15 is the results that Verizon had sent me regarding that IP address, who the owner was. And based on your review of those records, what were you able to determine? So Verizon told me that the user had been assigned that 108.16109.249 since January 6th of 2019, and that it was still being used on the date of my order of May 23rd, 2019. They also provided the customer name as Patricia Rival, and that the account address was in Marple, Pennsylvania. And again, that what is Mr. Hestafio's address? That's the same address. Okay, and how do you know that his license is registered there? And the from prior context, does he have any vehicles registered there as well? He had a vehicle registered there as well. And yes, and do you know who Patricia Rival is? I believe that's his sister. Mm. Does she live in the same address? Yes. Do you know if anyone else related to the defendant lives at that address? I believe it was his brother-in-law was there as well as his mother. Okay, and in that case, hold on. Wi-Fi at that address, they would have been using that same IP address, or yeah, the same IP address that I've been saying, 108.16109.249. And what does that tell you about the stack and wash emails? That those emails were coming from inside the residence and they're coming from inside the house and being logged into and accessed from the residence. Now, both the emails purportedly were from Miss Wash and Mr. Stack reference a Charles Peruto as an attorney. Yes. Are you familiar with who that is? Yes. You're on a permission to republish, blah, blah, blah. You may. Detective, do you recognize Commonwealth Exhibit 30 as an email purportedly from Stephanie Wash to a Charles Peruto? Yes. Did you find the email records provided by Mark? Yes. Okay. Can you explain to the jury? So they have provided me with the emails that were also located inside of that Outlook.com search warrant. that I had asked for, and inside that I found the Chelsea Price emails as well as this email to Mr. Peruto. What does that tell you? I mean, that's he's talking. I'm not sure what you mean. Well, this email came from inside the defendant's house. The accounts were being logged into from his house, correct? And so from inside the defendant's house, and an email purporting to be from a national news reporter was sent to Mr. Hastafio. Is that right? Yeah, his account logins were coming from his house, and yes. Do you know whether or not that email was ever forwarded to the defendant? Yes. Okay. By who? By his attorney, Mr. Lesniak, I bet. I want to go back to Commonwealth's Exhibit 1 and the first email sent on Commonwealth's Exhibit 1 at 4 April 22nd, 2019 at 9:33 p.m. I can't see from here. I'm sorry you don't have an Exhibit 1 up there with you. I don't think I have Exhibit 1. May I approach, Your Honor? You may. Oh, I do. I'm sorry, I do. The witness said. So that first email purports to come from what email address? The bottom one are we talking about? Yes. News managers at omgclink.com. Original Media Corporation, huh? I bet you. That's what that's from. Okay, and then the April 22nd, 2019, 9:37 p.m. email. What email address does that purport to come from? That's from Nik at omgclink. So omgclink.com. And did you conduct any further investigation into the OMC link? Goodness gracious, I can't stop yawning. She's making me tired. Yes, so I'm probably going to go to, I don't know. We'll see. I'm at 81 already. Still a lot left. I went and tried to go to the site to see if it was a site. I believe it redirected me to YC News, and I also looked up who was hosting that website to see if what company, if there was if it was a GoDaddy or something like that, to see who was actually providing the services for that site. And is there such a thing as a who is search? So who is lookup is you can type in www.google.com and it will say, oh, this is hosted by most likely probably Google. So this case I typed in the OMGC link to see who it was, and that it told me it was Bluehost. Bluehost. Told you it was what? Bluehost. Okay. Fuck is Bluehost? And what were you able to determine? Were you able to determine who the owner of YC News was? Yes. Okay. And what did you determine? Well, later on that later on in the investigation, I ended up doing a search warrant to Bluehost, asking for subscriber records for that website. And I guess I should back up a minute. What exactly is Bluehost? A Bluehost is just like a GoDaddy website. Someone that offers website hosting services. And you had indicated how was OMGC link related to YC News. I believe at the time it was redirecting me to the YC News website. So if you would like type that address in, it would just automatically send you to YC News. And when you went to YC News, was Mr. Hestafio identified as being associated with it? Yes. Okay, how so do you recall? He changed his title so many times it was kind of hard to keep up. Like sometimes he was the chief editor, other times he was president of the press, just constantly. So I actually don't remember what it said at that date and time. This is all everything he's doing right now. Well, did you subsequently obtain records from Bluehost? I did. May I approach again, Your Honor? You may. Blah blah blah. Probably maybe go to 100 pages and then I'm done. I'm at 83. There's 399 pages. This is crazy. Detective, I'm handing you a multi-page document that I pre-marked as Commonwealth's Exhibit 18. Yes, do you recognize what that is? Yes. This is the subscriber records from my search warrant to YC News or to Bluehost, I should say because that's who owns or is controlling it. And does that reflect both OMGC link as well as YC News? Yes. Okay. Does it indicate that? What does it indicate? And you don't need to say how much, but does it indicate how much he paid for that website? It does say how much he was paying. Yes. Is there a billing address associated with that? Yes. What is it? It's da da da. Hmm. Um. Um. mm, Let's see. And is there a phone contact number associated? I'll refer your attention to the first page of the document. Oh, okay, there it is. Yes. What is that? It's the same number. Is that the same number that was on the DA's office voice message? This word's gonna get good, and I'm gonna quit right now. Hey, man. 86 pages. Do these documents what does it say? Do these documents from Bluehost reflect any contact with the customer between Bluehost and the customers? Yes. Okay. And generally, what are they? What are the nature of some of the contacts? Usually, they're addressing him by name, like "Hello, Nick," spelled Nik. Either not paying the bill or he's having trouble with the website. Just doing too much fuck shit is what he's doing. Um, um, Shit. Not paying a bill is having trouble with the website. Da, da, da. Yeah, probably gonna go to 90. Now, all this investigation that you've detailed so far, does it predate the periods of the alleged racist email? Oh, now it's gonna get good, and I can't do it. I'll have to do the rest tomorrow. Where's it at? Hold on, I'm gonna put my cooler on because it's hot. 1 second. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see. Um, no. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go to 90. This is making me tired. Where was I? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I don't know where I was. Bluehost. All right. Do these documents from Bluehost reflect any contact with the customers between Bluehost and the customer? Okay, and generally, what are the yes. Okay, and generally, what are the nature of some of the context? Usually, um, usually they're addressing him by name, like "Hello, Nick," spelled Nik. Either not paying the bill or he's having trouble with the website. It's crashing type inquiries. Now, all of this investigation that you've detailed so far, does it predate the periods of the alleged racist email from that county? Yes. Do you recall approximately when you began the investigation on into the wash steak emails? That was the end of April, I believe. April, like 26th in that area of 2019. Mr. Pattis, I didn't hear that answer, Judge. The witness said April 26th-ish. Mr. Pattis says, thank you. Um, God, stay still. Says thank you. Oh, snap. Damn it. Oh, no. I went way too far. 86. 86. Up. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna go up. Where'd they go? Let me take a second. Look up. Oh, wait. Go down. I'm going down. Where are we at? Sorry, guys. 63. I was at 86. Damn. I'm just gonna scroll because it's gonna take forever. My bad. Okay. May 26th. Hold on. Let's see. Up. Oh, it's acting goofy. Okay. 26-ish. Okay, stop. Stop! Stupid. Oh my god. Okay. Immediately, I believe it was like the day after I was posted at night. So immediately, let's see. So did the investigation into the alleged racist email began approximately immediately. I believe it was like the day after it was posted at night. It was posted at night, so immediately people were calling for it to be investigated, rightfully so. And do you remember what that was? When that was? It was probably May 26th of 2019. Now, as part of your investigation, did you ultimately obtain a search warrant to search Mr. Hestafio's residence? Yes. God, that's the third search time. That's the third time they searched his house already. May I approach, Your Honor? Yes. May I speak to the Commonwealth for a moment, Judge? Sure, ladies and gentlemen. As I told you, the rules of civility. You've seen how well counsel has cooperated. That's what's expected. Thank you, sir. I just misunderstood something. Detective, I'm going to show you what's been pre-marked as Commonwealth's Exhibit 19. Commonwealth's Exhibit 20, first with regard to 19. Do you recognize that? Yes, that's a search warrant I authored allowing us to go into his residence and seize electronic devices. And what was, again, the location? Da 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 da. We're going to scroll up on that. Oh, wait. Don't go back down. Okay, what items were you searching for? Any electronic devices associated with Liam Stack, Stephanie Wash, fake emails, as well as evidence of the racist email. Why were you searching for electronic devices? Because everything that led to this investigation was all electronic, because everything was done through some kind of computer, some kind of cell phone, or some kind of cell phone. Now, was Mr. Hastafio present during the execution of that warrant? He was. He was initially was he initially in a vehicle? Yes. Was he the sole occupant of that vehicle? At that time, I wasn't there when he was stopped, but he was. Through the investigation, I learned that he was the person. He was the person in there. Through the investigation, did you learn that he was the only person in the truck? Yes. Were you able to speak with Mr. Estafio at the scene of the residence? Um, I did. And can you relay for the jury what took place? So we had stepped out into his backyard, and I provided him with a copy of the search warrant, and I also told him that we're here for the fake New York Times and fake ABC News emails that he told me that he didn't know anything about, and he didn't know what I was talking about. He further went and asked, is this about the racist email with the county? And I hadn't told him about that part, and I said it is. You could read it in the search warrant. And in that time, he asked if I was serious about going around his First Amendment right not to reveal his sources. During during the let's see, hold on. During the search of the residence, generally more detectives were present that just you that what? More detectives were present that just probably not just you, I assume. Correct. Okay, but did you all generally focus on any area of the house? We concentrated on his bedroom. Okay, and are you aware of whether or not Mr. Estafio had shown detectives which bedroom was his? They had directed him to the certain room in his house to show which one was his. They meaning the other detectives. Were there any documents in the room evidencing that it was in his bedroom, Mr. Hastafio's bedroom? Yes. Do you recall off the top of your head? There was a lot of news media stuff all hung over the wall. There was a picture of him with a small child. There was his business cards from his other news agency that he worked with. Okay, when you indicate there's photos of him, just to be specific, you mean Mr. Hastafio, correct? Okay, were there any bills that you noticed within the bedroom? I do not recall. And in addition to searching the residence, did you also ask Mr. Hastafio for consent to search the vehicle he had been driving? Yes. Okay, and directing your attention to Commonwealth's Exhibit 20. Yes, what is that? This is a consent form that I filled out in the front yard asking if we could search the Durango that he was driving. And were any electronic seized from the vehicle? Yes. God, this fool's fucking something else. Oh, I'm on 92. May I approach again, Your Honor? Yes. Okay, Detective, I'm going to show you what's been pre-marked as Commonwealth Exhibit 21. Yes. And do you recognize what that is? Yes, this is the inventory receipt that was generated to provide Nik the items that we were going to take from the vehicle. Does it indicate items were taken? Yes, the Apple MacBook Pro, a Samsung Galaxy S10, an Apple iPhone white with a red case. And did you take some photos or were photos taken of the search of the vehicle? Yes. Again, Your Honor, I'd ask permission to approach. You may. I've handed you what's pre-marked as Commonwealth Exhibit 22 through 20 through A through 20 through F through 22F, 23A, the court 22A, B, C, D, E, F. Correct, Your Honor. and C23. Also C23A, B, C, and D. Wow. All right, Detective. First, with regards to Commonwealth 22 A, B, C, D, E, and F, do you recognize what those photos depict? These are photos of the vehicle when we had seized the items. And do each of those photos fairly and accurately depict the vehicle as it appeared on that day, the items you seized from the vehicle? Yes. Your Honor, I'd move for admission of Commonwealth Exhibit 22A, B, C, D, E, and F. No objection, sir. Admitted. His lawyers aren't doing jack for him because they know he's screwed. Shit. And permission to publish to the jury, Your Honor. You may publish. Detective first. All right. Maybe 100. There's 399 pages. Detective first with regard to Commonwealth Exhibit. What is that? That's just general side. That's just a general side picture of the Durango he was operating in. With regard to Commonwealth Exhibit 22B, what does that depict? This is the interior picture of the driver's side, taking a picture inside the vehicle. Okay, with the door open. And Detective, I'm going to zoom in a little towards the steering wheel. Is there anything that could be seen in the open space of the steering wheel? That's the iPhone that we had seized, and relevant ended ended up being relevant to the investigation. Okay, and appears to have a red case on it. Correct. And with regard to the Commonwealth Exhibit 22C, what does that depict? This was a picture of the interior console, and it's harder to see, but that's where the Samsung Galaxy was. It kind of blends in. You can't, it's hard to see. In the front console, sort of the area where of the vehicle. Correct. Okay, and does that Samsung phone have did it have any relevant? I don't think it had anything to do with the case. And then with regard to the Commonwealth Exhibit 22D, what does that depict? This is now the interior of the passenger side, with the door open, with a briefcase or some kind of luggage on the front seat. And was anything relevant to this investigation discovered within that case? That was where the MacBook Pro was ultimately recovered from. Now, with regard to the Commonwealth Exhibit 22E, what does that depict? It's just a closer up picture of the suitcase or the briefcase. And then lastly, with regard to the Commonwealth Exhibit 22F, what does that depict? That's just showing a better picture of the iPhone and the Samsung, and that was in the console tray. Just zooming in a little bit. Is this red item the iPhone? Yes. And that's the item will ultimately here had relevant evidence on it. Correct. Wow, he's down. Below is the Samsung Galaxy in the console there. Yes. And that item did not have relevant evidence on it. Correct. Okay, now the phone depicted here in red, does it appear to be in use or attached to the vehicle? It was, if I recall, being actively used at the time. Yes, and it is. Did that phone have the burner application on it? Yes. Okay, now Detective, do you know who this vehicle was registered to? It was registered to an Alexander Swanson. Okay, do you know who that is? From the investigation, it appears it's some kind of friend or someone associated with Mr. Nik. Alexander Swanson. And is Mr. Swanson involved in is he actively engaged in the military? Yes. Do you know whether or not he was on leave at the time? He was he was there the day of the search warrant, but the car was registered to the Cedar Grove, whatever. Okay, and again, Mr. Hestafiel, go. Mr. Hestafio was the only one in the vehicle. He is the one we saw operating it, correct. Mr. Swanson, was he in the vehicle? No. Okay. You've already indicated and testified that Mr. Hestafio consented to searching the car. Yes. Okay. And did he know you were searching for electronics? Yes. Did he indicate any of the devices found in the car were not his? No. Okay. Now, detective, while you were searching the car, did you observe any business cards associated with Mr. Estefio? Yes. May I approach again? You may. Detective, I'm going to show you what's been pre-marked as Commonwealth's Exhibit 24. Detective, do you recognize what that is? I do. And what is it? This is a photograph of that same back that was inside the car, and has a picture of Nik The Hat's young constituent's name tag on it. If I could have just a moment, Your Honor. I'm going to do 2 more pages. I'm done. Does the appearance of that photo fairly and accurately depict? Yes, the bag as you found it that day. Okay, Your Honor. I move for admission of, is that Commonwealth's Exhibit 23 or 24? This is 24. No objection on 24, sir. It's admitted. You may publish. Your Honor, I apologize. I'm going to have to return to that exhibit. I'll move on for now, but we'll return to that. Detective, do you have Commonwealth Exhibit 23A and B with you? Correct. I have 23A, B, C, and D. Okay, 23A and B are, what are they depict? These were business cards that were found inside the Durango, and they have Nick's name on there, and he's national correspondent with AMI. Okay, and do they fairly accurately depict the cards as you found them on the date of the search? Yes, date of the search warrant. Well, they weren't found on the seat like that. They were taken from where they were put, where they were and put on the seat. So that they could be photographed. Yes. And well, weren't found. Wait. So let's see. Found in the photographs. Your Honor, permission to move omission of Commonwealth's Exhibit 23A and B. Mr. Paddock, no objection, Judge. Admitted and published. May thank you. Okay, this last page. Okay, first with regard to Commonwealth's Exhibit 23A, what is that showing? It's just an overall view of the business card. Okay, and was that located underneath the computer case that we had seen on the previous exhibits? I don't recall exactly where it was found. Okay, then with regard to 23B, what is that? It's just a close-up of the same business cards to show his name and stuff. And is there an email associated with that number? Yes. And what is that email? It's nhatstatsview@amilink.com. And is there a cell phone associated with it? Yes. What is it? 267-648-84, blah, blah, blah. And is that the phone number we previously associated with the defendant? Yes. Okay, I think I'm done. So we're at 102. So I'm just going to do the rest tomorrow. 102. Yeah, I'll just do 102. Oh, shit. It's stupid. I had to go get this. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll down here just to see when it's going to get good. Let's see what we got over here. Pink pen. Misspoke.
Talking about the business card. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 hours break. Let's see. Well, I think I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over it. Let's see. Come on. Oh, look at. Oh, snap. What was that? Um, subject. Oh, there's where the emails. I think those are those racist emails. It's at 1:15. um, let's see. Oh wait. Mm, drugs in this case. Yeah, he did all kinds of shit, dude. Like within like a year. Crazy. I wonder if he testifies. I don't think he does. But anyway, it is what it is. So, I don't know. I'm going to finish reading it tomorrow. I was just doing a test run. My mouth is tired. I'm sure people will be happy with that. They would be happy. What is this? Okay, we'll stop sharing. I don't know what that is. Let's see. So,
So I'm just gonna play this. There's some motivational speakers that I'd like to listen to, so I'm just gonna play this one out, and then see you guys later. To go replay this and see what my loud ass sounded like, coughing and yawning and all that junk, so I can correct it later. But anyway, so I'm gonna do this here. Do the screen. What do I do? Let me turn my thing off here. So this is Eric Thomas, a hip hop preacher. Oh, let me check this.
Everybody got a dream. Listen to me. Everybody has a dream, but not everybody got a grind. You are because of how you think. And if you were to change your thinking, you would change your world. Monday, I grind. Tuesday, I grind. Wednesday, I grind. Thursday, I grind. Friday, I grind. Saturday, I grind. Sunday, I grind. And that's why I'm here today. And listen to me, your problem is you're not grinding. You're not grinding. You're taking days.
All right, so real quick, I brought my man Toby up because he's closer to your age, just got a degree. I brought CJ up because he's closer to you guys' age. And I remember like what Toby is doing, like, you know, the whole like, you know, being silly and all of that. I remember when I first started speaking, I used to do more of that kind of stuff. But like things have changed for me a little bit because I got a son who's a junior in college and my daughter's a senior in high school. And I'm just gonna be real, when I, like on my way here, as I was driving, I'm like, yo, I'm like, wow. Like I almost cried. I'm looking at the buildings and stuff on the way. I'm like, wow, you gotta, like, wow, this generation, like you gotta go to school, like you gotta go through all that to get here. Like for real, I made sure what I went through in Detroit, that my kids didn't go through that. Listen to me, I made up in my mind when I was in my 20s that my kids ain't gonna go through what I went through. My father wasn't there for me and ain't nothing I could do about it. His father wasn't there. My grandfather was a high school dropout. My father was a high school dropout. I was a high school dropout. I said to myself, my kids will never go through what I went through. My son, listen to me, like I'm from the D, my wife from the D. I don't even take my son the way I grew up. Like I don't even know if I left my son, just left my man there, if he could hang. Like he ain't never been through that before. My son went through high school, he's never had a fight a day in his life. I'm looking at my son like, yo, this crazy. Where I grew up, like even if you didn't want to fight, you got to fight. I'm like, yo, I didn't even like fighting, I had to fight. And so I put my son in a school where he never had to go through that. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm a high school dropout. So how did I go from a high school dropout to do what I'm doing now? Number one, I got a why. I remember when I was going to school, like for real, I hate school. Like I'm a grown man with a PhD and I hate school. So somebody say, if you hate school so much, why do you go? Because sometimes in life, you have to do what you don't like to do so you can live like you want to live. The first thing I had to do was say, I'm gonna break the cycle, right? I need you to think about this real quick. How many in this room? There's your mother, your grandmother, there's somebody that you like you love with all your heart. There's somebody in this room that you love. I need you to raise your hand for me, somebody you love. Look, hands down, we're gonna do it one more time. Look, I need you to do me a huge favor. Huge favor. You're not talking to nobody. I need you to really think about what I'm saying. You got a mom in here who's working 2 jobs. You got a grandma that's still working, right? I need you to think about what I'm saying. Like, for real, I'm not playing now. And this is why I get so frustrated. Somebody's still talking. Come on. Bro, I promise you, I love you, bro. Listen to me very closely. They pay me $50,000 to $100,000 when I speak to corporate America. I go to a basketball program, they pay me good. I ain't getting a dime here. I'm here because I love you. But I'll be darned if I come here for free and you disrespect me. I ain't 20 years old. I ain't 19 years old. I'm a grown man. I'm here because I love you. I'm here because I love y'all. They ain't pay me a dime. As a matter of fact, I came and used my influence to raise money so a group of kids can go to Costa Rica. I'm not here to get nothing. I'm here to give you something. I'm not here to take nothing from you. I'm here to give you something. And listen to me closely. When people love you, you don't do them like dirt. When people care for them, you don't disrespect them. You ain't got but a few people who care about you in this world. Didn't you hear what I just said? You in the wrong place. You're going to get shot and killed, and ain't nobody going to go to jail for it. Ain't nobody going to go to jail for it. Ain't nobody going to do no time for it. So the few people who you do have that care, you can't treat them like garbage. You can't disrespect the people that's trying to look out for you. Because you ain't got a lot of dudes. Look me up. You ain't got a lot of dudes that do what I do that's coming to your school. No disrespect. The dude you listening to my man and jamming to his album, he ain't coming here. And I just heard we had a rapper here last night. How many schools did he go to? How many elementary schools? He came and took your money, but he didn't invest nothing back into you. And you're going to have the nerve to laugh and joke when teachers trying to teach you? You got the nerve to act a fool when somebody cares about you? You talking while I'm talking? Do you know if I go to a Jewish school, them kids quiet. If I go to a white school, them kids quiet. If I go to a Latino school, they quiet. The only kids that disrespect me is black kids. That's it. My own are the only ones that disrespect me. I walk in any other school, they like, there go E.T., we taking notes. I come home, you talking. You capping jokes. You think something funny. Look how we living. Ain't nothing funny. Ain't nothing funny, y'all. Look, when I got my PhD, what embarrassed me, I'm in there, they asking me like, what's wrong with our urban schools? Like, why you asking me? I'm in classes like you in class. The teachers want to know, professors want to know, well, why are your kids, what's the problem in the school system? I'm embarrassed, y'all. I'm a grown man. I'm embarrassed that they talk about y'all. And you know why I'm embarrassed? Because what they don't know is you ain't even trying when you take the test. You didn't give your best. They think you dumb. You ain't dumb. You can't take our people from Africa and put us in the diaspora and spread us all over the world and we survived slavery and we can't pass the test? Come on. I ain't stupid. You take everything from us and we still survive? And you gonna tell me we can't learn how to write? Have you lost your mind? We are survivors. That's all we do is survive. And you gonna come and tell me you can't take a test. No, you can take the test. The problem is when you take the test, you barely take the test. I challenge you to go in there and get that doggone piece of paper and that pencil and do your best. I challenge you. I challenge you to go to class and act like you got some sense. Ain't nobody got to put you on medicine. You know how to sit down and shut up. You do it when you're watching videos. So listen to me, you mine. Despite that other voice telling me that I would never get a PhD, I did it anyway. Win, lose, or draw. But do me a favor, don't die not trying. You gotta feel me on this one. Face it. Listen to me, face it. The reason why I must. Come on, I must. Good. So number one, listen to me. Don't write this down. It's not a principle. Listen quickly. I'll give you the first principle. Number one, this is not the principle. It's going to be a dog fight. I would love to tell you that on the road to success, everything is going to work out. It's not. It's going to be a dog fight. It's going to be a dog fight. For those of you watching my videos, on the road to success, I lost 5 aunts to cancer. It's a dog fight. In the midst of my business, I lost aunts. I had to go to funerals. We had to get on a plane. We had to drive. We had aunts that are close to my age who died, who didn't have insurance. We had to raise money. A dog fight. I had cousins shot in stores, execution style, shot back of the head twice. It's a dog fight. Like, you don't see that on YouTube. You don't see that on my TGI. It's a dog fight. My wife, 3 years ago, 7 legions found on her brain. It's a dog fight. It hadn't been easy. It's a dog fight. It hadn't been, the road hadn't been success. Like, it's just a paved road and like E.T. go this way. It's been rough. It's been crooked. It's been hard. But I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dog fight. And so if you're ready to quit, then don't get started. If you're ready to quit, don't get started. If you're looking for this easy path, don't get started. If you think they're not going to close the door on you and say no 1,000,000 times, don't get started. But every time they close the door, I just get excited. Why? Because I am not a no. I'm 1 yes away. I'm 1 yes away. You can't keep telling me no forever. You can't keep denying me forever. This type of energy, this type of passion, you can't stop it. You can contain it for a while, but you cannot stop. This is life. And you can't defeat me. There is not. You don't have enough power. You don't have enough energy. You don't have enough strength to stop this. Contain it for a year, you might. 2 years, you might. You do not have hate, does not have enough energy to destroy love. You cannot destroy this. And so I'm telling you today, it's going to be a dog fight. And the sooner you realize it's going to be a dog fight. Okay, so let me just say this to you. So in America, right, and I'm sure it's the same thing here, but they're in our armed forces. Let's just pick one, the Navy, for instance. We just pick the Navy, right? Well, let me tell you guys, this is good. Listen to me very closely. The first thing they teach you, somebody over here, help me out. You are in the Navy, right? They're teaching you war. Right? What's the first thing they teach you? Boot camp, the very first, somebody tell me over here, just take a wild guess. What's the first thing they teach soldiers? Courage. Good, courage, okay. Decide. Discipline. So give me something practical. What's the first practical thing that they would teach you? Say it again. Defending yourself, somebody over here. How to swim, listen to me very closely. The first thing they teach you, the very first thing they teach you, is how to respond when you have a jam gun. And number 2, how to carry a dead body. That's the first thing they teach you. They don't teach you how to defend yourself. They don't teach you how to swim. The first thing they teach you is when your gun is jammed. The first thing they teach you is a dead body, how to carry a dead body. And somebody tell me, why would they start you there? That's the worst case scenario. That's what you're not prepared for. That's what you're not thinking. You're not thinking when you go out there to defend yourself that your gun is gonna jam. You're not thinking when you go out there that your boy gonna get killed and you gotta drag. You're not thinking that. So listen to me. It's not hardships that hurt us. It's not my cousin getting shot twice. It's not my cousin spending 50 years in jail. It's not my aunt dying of cancer. It's not my wife being diagnosed with 7 legions on her brain that will break you. What will break most people is you didn't prepare for that. So when you put all your little goals and all your little dreams together, it's not the thing that broke you. It was you never even thought about the fact that you could be broken. You never prepared. You never prepared for worst case scenario. And the reason why E.T. is standing here, because I'm prepared for it. If you know anything about me, I still lay on floors. I still eat chips off the floor. I still do some stuff that to most people is crazy, like, E.T., why would you do that? Because I'm always prepared that we may not live in that house one day. One day something might happen and we might have to go back to that. And if I have to go back to that, it's not gonna break me. And so I present to you a diamond. Most women love them. And most men spend a lot of money on them. I'm gonna say it again. Most women love them. And most guys have to work a long time to be able to get a nice one. The thing we covet the most, and then for a diamond to be produced, it must first go through extreme heat. Extreme heat. Extreme pressure. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? For a diamond to be produced, it has to go through extreme pressure, extreme heat. And if that wasn't enough, what makes a diamond is the cut. So you are put through, if you want to be a diamond, you must go through extreme pressure. If you can't take pressure, then you're not a diamond. After you go through all the pressure you thought you could not handle and you think it's over, then they turn on the heat. Of all the stuff I've gone through in my life, eating out of trash cans, sleeping in abandoned buildings. The worst thing that ever happened is when I went to the hospital and they told me my wife had a chronic illness and she might not be able to walk one day. People say,